very warm welcome to a day in a life of a CXO. I'm your host Divina Lasson, and on this series we give you unique insight into the lives of visionary leaders of India. Join us today with Mr. CP Gurnani, the MD and CEO of Tech Mahindra, a true leader and visionary when it comes to innovation in the tech space.
Hi
CP, good morning.
Good morning. So, bright and early start.
Yes, thank you so much for having us today. It's really such a pleasure. We're going to get to spend the whole day with you.
Welcome. I'll end up learning a bit, and more important is that you also get a taste of the DLF hospitality or the bureaucracy.
Yes, yeah.
A
little bit of
they're pretty strict about some of the, do's and don'ts out here.
Sure, I can understand. I mean, it's such a beautiful environment. So, CP, is this how you normally start your day? What's a good kickstart to your day? How does that look?
A normal day would be a walk, and typically I budget 6:30 to 7:30 for a walk in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm an early riser, depending on my travel schedules. I mean, I could have woken up at 5 or worst case 6 a.m.
Sure.
And the usual catch up, clean up, and I'm down here. It's also normally the time when I catch up with my wife Annu. She and I go for a walk, 6:30 to 7:30, come back. That's also, as soon as I'm back, I'm spend time with my grandson.
How would you say with this kind of very holistic way to start your day again? You have exercise, you have family. How does that sort of set the tone of your day moving forward?
For most of us, we all know that majority of our time we all focus on what we call as our day jobs or the purpose.
Yes.
Over the years, one has learned the importance of sleep.
Yes, of course.
I still remember days when I used to boast that I could stay awake for 2 days.
Yeah.
But then I was much younger.
Yeah, sure.
But then, you came in touch with people, you came in touch with some of the learnings, and you said no, sleep is important.
Yes.
So that's the first. So that became the first. So like, for example, ever since I learned that, I try and avoid red-eye flights.
Okay. Yeah.
Similarly, when you come to exercise, a lot of people, everybody has his own routine.
Yeah.
Some people like to jog, some people like to, go to the gym. To me, this is like being closer to the nature because my work is typically so much indoors.
Sure, yeah. And in this beautiful environment here, surrounded by all this greenery.
Oh, beautiful.
It's very understandable.
I have to give it. It's a very, very beautiful setup out here.
Absolutely.
So, this became the second part of it, which became important, is that it also gave you time to reflect.
Yes.
It gave you time to, in a way, plan your activities.
Yes.
The third is, I can only tell you the biggest joy in my life is my grandchildren. And so I definitely plan my day around the availability of my little young man.
Wow, CP, thank you so much for having us and inviting us to be part of this routine of yours, which I can see such a ritual.
So to me, this ritual also is admiring the fountains here. And this is when I say, thank you, God, for giving me this beautiful environment. Maybe, Devina, You should come and meet my family. You should come and talk to them. Let's go over to my apartment. This way, please.
Yeah, after hearing so much about what an inspiration they are too, thank you. That would be great.
Hey Devina, hi.
Hi.
Hi. I hope you're enjoying this lovely Gurgaon weather these days.
Yes, absolutely. And CP, thank you so much for having me for breakfast with your family. This is very kind of you.
Come, join us.
Thank you.
Breakfast, when you start talking, it starts making me feel hungry.
Yes.
Come this way.
I presume since you start your day so early as well, breakfast and everything happens early too?
Come Devina, come right here. I know, Anup, yeah, come over, Anup. Feed us some breakfast.
Hi. So this is a continuation of your morning rituals as you were explaining, breakfast with the family.
This is again, as I said, usually this is more of on the go.
Yes.
Breakfast is not when we sit down ever and
Yes.
chat. I think we're just doing it in your honor.
Thank you. That's very
breakfast is always on the run.
Yeah, I presume for your schedule actually you must have.
So my coffee mug, if you can notice on my study table.
Yes.
So that the coffee mug is ready and on the run.
Wow, well,
Come help yourself.
Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely.
You want to start with fruits?
Yes, that would be great.
Thank
you. So since we are here, of course, with Anu ma'am and sitting together for breakfast at the table, I assume that family life also must be a very important aspect of how you maintain your balance. And I'd love to know a little bit about the family and how do you really keep your work life and your family life together on track?
I mean, again, blessed with a very supportive wife, Anu, who's right here. Then I think the other critical part of our lives is that at least one of our children is close by.
Yes.
So my son Ashish and my daughter-in-law Shreya, they live pretty much next door.
Yes.
And more important is that, you know, we get our energy, both Anu and I get our energy from our grandson also, who also lives literally next door.
Next door.
Yeah, so that way, I guess, I mean, most I would say is that there is usually about 8-ish coffee time where 90% of us are together. And then typically around dinner, I won't say every day, but at least 3 days a week we are together. So that really makes it, you know, a more happy life because we get to see each other, we talk to each other, we pull each other's leg, and sometimes make plans, and sometimes, you know, unravel all the plans. I mean, so it's good, so it's fun. It's fun.
Yes, very important.
A work-life balance. I mean, my philosophy and my wife's philosophy, Anu's philosophy does not match.
Is it?
Because to me, work and life is continuous. I mean, there is no boundaries. She's learned to allow me to do it, but given choice, she would like to have that
dedicated family time.
But I mean, she's learned.
But you know what? It's been so many years now. It's fine. You know, one has gotten used to it. And I don't know now if we were to do the work-life balance like how I wanted it. I don't know how I'm going to take that.
You've changed too over the years, yes?
Yes, I have, and I've learned to adapt it, and it's been fine. It's been a fun journey with him. And
how do you keep the family together? What to you means family time? And yes, clearly the schedule that Sir's dealing with is very busy and very hectic. So how do you sort of, as the lady of the house, keep the family together and make sure you're spending time?
you know what, I think the foremost thing is to keep the happy energy around, the positive energy around. And I think if everybody is happy around, it all comes in place.
Having your family at least as a support, even if you're not sitting and discussing issues and challenges all the time, but just having your family there as a backbone support really stood out for you. Any memories that you have? Or
I think it's almost every day of our lives, because all said and done, every time you took a bold decision, it really meant is to make it work. It meant long hours. When we bought Satyam, for almost a year and a half, I was traveling 200 nights a year. Ultimately, it was the family which was supporting me. Yes. So, Devina, I know that we're enjoying the conversation. Can we continue over workplace?
yes, absolutely. I'm sure your day, your team is waiting for you in the office.
Chalo, good.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having me this morning.
I'll just pack
See you
up.
soon. Yeah, again, CP, thank you so much for having me for breakfast and meeting your family and really starting to understand what your life is like, both in the boardroom and out of the boardroom. What I'd also love to understand from you is how, again, sort of going back to your family roots, how has your upbringing shaped you? And how has it shaped your career and where you've landed today? Maybe influence from your parents or siblings? How has it all sort of come together?
So clearly, I don't want to start with a cliche saying that I owe it to the God or I owe it to the parents. Reality is that a small town guy, growing up in 7 schools in Rajasthan and then ending up in a small place like Rourkela, the world was indeed small. And to me, I can only relate to people around me. Now, when I was growing up, for my father, it was all about, number one, that nobody owes you anything. You need to establish yourself. You need to find a place for yourself. I think that is number one. Whichever situation I am in, every morning I remind myself that I need to make an impact.
Yes.
I need to create that momentum or velocity. I think then number two, being a small town guy, I think that family, extended family, your society. Like I remember in a small town like Chittorgarh, me and my father had a Sunday ritual of going to the butcher and buying the goat meat on a Sunday morning. We would start from home at 9 and we'll barely come back at 12 o'clock. Why? Because half the town knew each other.
Yes.
And everybody will stop by, greet each other. And I used to enjoy it because to me, that's really what meant the purpose of life was, at that point of time was that homogeneity or that, people have time for each other. I guess that's why I call, my workplace, Tech Mahindra, as a workplace where you would find head, you will find heart, and you will find humor. And we build the company around that. Even when we are now in 90 countries, we are 152,000 people. I mean, I would love to say that we built a great, large family.
How would you define success for yourself?
I would love to say that success to me has always been different things at different stages of life. Because my goals were changed over a period of time. You know, when you are 20s, you want to, have a family. When you are 30, you want to be able to provide to your family. When you are 40, you want to be able to give your children a great education. When you are 50, you want your children to have the best of the spouses and them to have a good life. When you are 60, you want to look back and say, I had a great life, I made a good impact. So at every stage, your definitions or milestones for success have changed. But overall, success has been being happy and being able to impact a few lives in a positive way.
I'm sure in your case, CP is much more than just a few lives as well. You're being very modest. So in this stage of your life, what continues to be sort of your biggest motivating factor?
I mean, I think God has been very kind, and I am very grateful to God for giving me an opportunity to serve. So both me and my wife run a NGO called ETCIO, where we work with about 2,500 underprivileged children. Number two is, I genuinely believe that India is a land of opportunity. For us, the best way for Mahindra Group and Tech Mahindra is to create institutions which are not only the best in class around the world, but they're also institutions where we are able to build global communities. So I think from our perspective, as I said, both Mahindra Group and Tech Mahindra, its focus is on building institutions which last generations.
Wow, and that's a very, very inspiring note. I think we're slowly pulling up to your office.
We are at our office.
So CP, we finally made it to your office after a wonderful
welcome
Thank
to
you so much.
Tech Mahindra Gurgaon.
Yes, yes.
As I told you, our main campuses are out of Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. Hyderabad is pretty big for us.
Yes.
Pune is very big for us. Pune is where the MBT, which was the earlier avatar, that's where we were headquartered. We bought Satyam in 2009. So that was the Hyderabad headquartered company.
Yes.
So in a way, you're pretty much in every major city in India.
Right. You know, CP, before we move further, since you brought it up, I must ask you about your role as a leader during Satyam. I can't even imagine how much focus and attention you had to put into the whole initiative. So if you can maybe talk us through a little bit about what that was like for you and how as a leader you persevered and came out on top.
You know, I think Satyam was a problem ready to be solved. The number two, I think the most important part was that people, the team, was so energized that honestly my job was very, very easy. Number third, my board, my colleagues in Mahindra Group and my customers, they all wanted to help.
Yes.
So many a times, from an outside what you see as a big problem, yes, it is a big problem, but in a lot of ways, it's a power of the people, power of my associates, and I'm indeed grateful. Yes, there were many, many challenges, but the best part was the team was more committed to solve them, and I just happened to be the guy who was adjusting the sails on this boat.
So we're talking about innovation and how you bring innovation through in the organization, especially again sitting here with you at Tech Mahindra, we must talk about the role that innovation plays.
So immediate things that come to my mind when I look at innovation, to me innovation and creativity are important for us to differentiate ourselves, respond to the market changes, solve some of our customer challenges, help us drive growth, sometimes bring in the entrepreneurship in us. It's also a culture that my youngsters are proud of. So innovation to a large extent is also important to stay relevant.
If you didn't do this, what would you be doing in life? What path would you have chosen?
I think I would have become a teacher.
Yeah?
I would have become a coach. I mean, I've tried to visualize, what's the thing that I enjoy the most. I would have loved to be a coach of a soccer team or a cricket team, running up and down and allowing others to take the limelight and the credit.
Yeah.
That's what I would have loved. Number two, as a teacher, again, finding my students more successful, I think that would have given me a bigger kick.
Yeah.
So I think I'm still a teacher and a coach.
Yes, I was just going to
say. But I'm still also the playing captain.
Sure. Do you have any regrets?
No, absolutely
wow.
not. If I were to relive my life, again, I would say that on a business side, no regrets. Personal side, as I told you earlier also, losing your parents very early in life, there's somehow a sense of vacuum.
Yes.
There's a sense of feeling that I wish I'd spend more time with them.
What sort of one piece of advice would you give to any youngsters looking to enter into the workforce today?
I lived my life on one motto: work hard, play hard. So I can only say is that if I were to relive and I start my life again, if I were to rewind 42 years, I would still say work hard and have fun.
Yes, fantastic. Right? How do you personally measure whether your day has been a successful one or not?
I come into the office smiling, when I go back smiling, and I do make others smile, I think it's been a good day.
I'm smiling, so it's definitely been a good day. CP, thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you so much. It's really been
all right,
Devinath,
again, thank you for coming to our office, and I hope to look after, show you around our campuses in Plaksha Mohali, campuses for Tech Mahindra in Pune, Tech Mahindra in Hyderabad.
Thank you.
Do visit us.
Absolutely.
Please, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, please.
All right. All right, on that note, that's all we have for you on this very inspiring episode of Day in the Life of a CXO. For more such inspiring conversations, do stay tuned. We have a lot more lined up for you. Until next time, many thanks for watching.